So this is the Crown My Good little book project overview, and I've used this little ribbon to tie the book together, which you have one in your kit. And the first page of my little book is the one I did with the ATC, which is the Artist Trading Card kit that I got. Everybody got something different. And so I got You Are My Sunshine, and this sweet little face, and a little charm, and a little string, and I punched a hole in there. I used a 1/8 hole punch. You can use any size hole punch, or take it all and put it through there. And so this is what's on the back. Notice how I've used little corners of things to add decoration. And in the front page, I try to just use a thin, something with just one layer rather than two. I put an image on the back, but the front pocket gets a little bit tight. So I usually like to just put one thing in there. So here's another one. I love this picture with the crown and this quote about the crown chakra, and here's the meditation and the chakras, and another quote about the crown chakra. And you can add little things to the pocket, to the corners, just little leftover strips. You can make little strips of the self-adhesive prismatic foil. And on this one, I made this one out of one of those strips of the ones that look like fish scale on the outside. So we open this up, and I wanted to have a little more on the inside, so I took another piece and taped it here so that we have like a 3-part opening here. There's lots of stuff going on this one. And then when we close it up, we even have a quote on the back, and a quote in the back of that. And these little pieces here are leftover scraps, so I didn't want to go to waste, so they look like little confettis. And then this one also talks about the crown chakra, and 2 more of Charles Eisenstein's quotes in there. And a Gebrand quote on the back, and another kind of a image of a goddess, Native American goddess. And you can put quotes on the little pocket portion too, if you like. And I love this one. Don't push the river, it flows by itself. That's good advice. And so there's some more quotations in there. And don't feel like you have to put the whole sticker in the middle. So I put this here and trimmed off half. And I think, or not half, but a piece. I think I used that piece someplace else. Whoops, this piece is stuck. So, and there's a quote on the back that I just put the quote on and then stripped around the edges. I used the leftover sunflower from the piece on the front, which came in the Artist Trading Card kit. And then here's another 1-page one. I just put this on top of the gold glitter paper and then covered, the back was white. I covered that with an image and another quote there. I like it when you take one out and there's kind of a surprise behind there. So this is the little envelope. It has a real special, I want to put my special thing in that envelope. And on the inside, I took a piece of the shiny adhesive paper and put that, stuck that on the front. So I wanted to make this really special because I like what's inside. So inside it says, Once you can see the head and it doesn't slip back in, that's crowning. Once crowning occurs, the arrival of the new baby is imminent. And here's a symbol for the crown chakra. This was a piece of artwork I found online that what was crowning was the baby's head coming through the flower, which was beautiful. But I wanted the earth to be crowning through the flower. And there's the Virgin being crowned, the Divine Mother. And so that's my little special one. And then I made myself a little gratitude journal. And I haven't written in it yet, but I used the inside of the lined paper so I could make a little journal and some lists. So we can layer a couple of them in here too. I like it when you pick these out and there's kind of a surprise underneath there. So this one, I made my own time for introspection, so I wrote that on there with a Sharpie marker. So this one I made from one of those strips of colored, had the color on one side, so this side actually was white, and I glued all these little things on. And so I kind of like to put those little strips across. I think it makes it pretty. And on this one I cut a little thing on the corner so it makes it easier to open up. On the back it says ruminate, muse, and meditate. To remind myself to take a breath. And all these little pieces here are kind of scraps. And so this is the last page of my little book. I put the special shooting star sticker in there. And then this one I made of that shiny paper that with the kind of undulating edge. But I wanted to cover up the text, so what I did was I cut out 2 circles and then glued them underneath there so that they would cover the text. And then this is that really nice Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. And then I decided on this one I would make it kind of two-sided. So here's another quote by Charles Eisenstein from the Coronation. And I stripped the shiny paper around that. You could really put this one in either way. And I usually don't put too much in the back because the back pocket and the front pocket get a little bit tight. So the most I put in the back or the front is a folded over thing. So then we'll take and tie it with the little ribbon. And if you want to, you can sew the ribbon down on the spine of the book. You would, now I'm putting my ribbon a little lower than halfway because I like the little face to show. So if I were to sew this, I'd sew through the book and sew one of those beads. That's what we have some beads for. If you want to sew a bead onto anything, and you can sew a bead, sew up through the bead and back down through, and that gives you a little bead decoration on the edge as well as holding down the ribbon. And I might trim these a little bit. But this is so that you have a record of what we did in the class, so that while you're working on your project during the week, if you want to be reminded, you can take a look at this and be reminded of some of the different techniques we use. So I hope you're having fun making your little Crown Night Good with Sisterhood book.